Hey everybody, I wasn't going to do this video today, but I thought I'd put it out for you guys. So in the last video we just did, we talked about compost tea, and basically it got brought up, chlorinated versus non-chlorinated. So I think it's important. It's an important question. It's a fair question, so I thought I'd address it based upon, my personal beliefs on the matter. So the biggest argument that I've seen for why it doesn't matter if there's chlorine in the water is the half-life argument. The half-life argument basically states that chlorine in the water will eventually evaporate, or it'll, destroy the bacteria, but its half-life will soon dissipate and the bacteria will continue to flourish, as in the case for a compost tea. And that's 100% true. There's really no doubt to that is scientifically true. My biggest rebuttal for that, though, is if you are knowingly going to be doing a project that requires you to grow bacteria, and you instantly know that as soon as you start the project with your chlorinated water that you can control, you're instantly taking 2 steps back. Why? What common sense reason is that? And that's really my argument. If I'm doing any water project, whether that's my aquaponics, my gardening, feeding my animals, watering myself, why would I instantly take 2 steps back? For me, that makes no sense. So yes, I definitely highly recommend chlorinated free water, and I do that using an inline water filter system. Now, I know a bunch of people on the interwebs have talked about it. I know John Kohler with Growing Your Greens, and then Josh with Boogie Brew sells them. And like I said, I agree with that thought process, that it's important, because me personally, like I said, I don't want to start in a position where I'm taking 2 steps back. And so there's really 3 big reasons why I highly recommend chlorinated free water, and in general, just an inline water filtration system. The first reason I already mentioned, there's no reason to take steps backwards if you don't have to. Number 2, especially if you're living in an area where you're dependent on city water or municipal water sources, basically any water source where you don't have the control over how that water is processed, I definitely recommend having an inline water filter. I started using these when I was full-time RVing for obvious reasons. I RV'd all over the country, and I use the Camco brand, as you can see there. And the reason why is because it's extremely economical, and I know it works. I've done water projects, and you can go look at those videos. I know the product works. And so when you're going to a water source, you don't necessarily know, what kind of water you're getting. I know I've been places in the country where the chlorine content is so high it kills fish, plants, insects, you name it. And then I've been other places where the chlorine is really a non-issue. So being the fact that if you live in a place where you can't control how the water is being filtered, and you don't have any control over the inputs that are being made to that water, take back control by putting your own inputs in place. That way it acts as a fail-safe. And then the third reason really is just, at the end of the day, I want my water as close to H2O as humanly possible. So that's my thought process in it. These water filters are great because they're going to take care of bad taste, bad odors, sediments, bacteria, and chlorine, and a bunch of other things. But those are really the big items that are important to me. Like I said, I'm using my water, especially from my hose. I'm using it for myself. I'm using it for my animals. I'm using it for my garden. I'm using it for my aquaponic system. So for me, it's important to make sure that I'm giving myself the best quality the first time around. So that's my thought process on it. Like I said, there's many other different thought processes on it. But like I said, to me, it's super important, and that's what I go with. So there you have it. Hope you guys liked the video. And as always, long live the Republic.